Episode 2 is like B
Right,
episode.
part B tape.
Yeah.
Wait, there's gonna be a part 2 of this thing?
It probably will.
Oh, probably will.
But it's gonna be more so focused on females. Let them say they part of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more Pimpin No Simpin than.
Okay, so it's gonna be
Yeah. Because nowadays, bro, it's not changed.
Very still dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna be sitting back drinking and eating and like, ooh, this shit juicy.
I do want to see that.
Yeah, man. But I definitely thank everyone that was able to come in, man. Like I said, we are definitely trying to make this thing grow, man. I'm definitely glad that a lot of people are seeing this. A lot of people are trying to come on. A lot of people trying to see what we got going on, man.
Yes.
We know this is the corner. We're getting strong. We're building up. And like I said, glad everyone that was able to come was able to come. So, you know, to end it off, man, this is K1, and this is
Mac and Olivia Still.
Charles. Anthony.
and this has been episode 17 of The Corner, man. Simpin No Pimpin.
Yeah.
So y'all keep an eye out, man, for the part 2, man. It's going to be Pimpin No Simpin. It's going to be a female segment. And I'm ready for that. That's going to be in season, what, 3? Yeah, 3. God dang. Oh, we about to hit season 3. Woo.
3.
I ain't know, bro, to be honest, I ain't know we was going to make this far, bro. But I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Some valleys in there.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
Oh my Lord.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is another episode of the Corner Podcast. Tonight's episode will be Pimpin No Simpin Part 2.
Yeah.
So if you wasn't here for the previous episode was No Simpin, No Pimpin.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of that. But as we always do, man, we're going to go down the line. As always, it's your host, K1, and this is...
Mac.
Anthony.
Silk.
And Tug will be our guest tonight, man. You want to come in on this one, man? It's going to definitely be a good one. And just going to jump into it, man, because I know y'all seen what happened to Mr. Chris Rock. So it's tragic to see. And
More importantly, the Smiths.
We'll talk about all of it.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. You know, that won't be the focal topic, but it's definitely going to be
It's definitely
going to be talked about.
Yeah,
It's definitely going to be
it's a
talked
thing.
about. But, I mean, we definitely jump into it. Let's see. Oh, before we get into it, ladies is pimps too.
So go and brush your shoulders off.
That's the thing. It's definitely
All right.
I mean, so I go off. I mean, what's up?
Go
Y'all ready?
ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
So,
Take
so just kind of expounding on the topic, just talking about the whole thing that happened with Will and The Rock or whatever. Well, not The Rock, but Chris Rock. That's gonna be confusing. That's gonna,
He
he's
said that would have went a
I
different
think he would have
way.
smiled like
He would have been, that's a good one, boy.
He would have moved.
Like, but but what The Rock couldn't take the hit though? Like,
It ain't-
what? No, I'm just saying, look. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
chains on his
Hey, big niggas fall now. Big niggas fall now.
Samoans don't fall.
That's
Samoan.
That's a Samoan dude right there.
I'm just saying.
And y'all seen his face when the slap hit. He was like,
Yeah.
what if he do that shit? See who he played in Moana now.
Hear me, guy.
Right.
That man was into the action. He was like, I wonder if he come down here and do that to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe I have to come up there and break something up now.
Right. Exactly.
But I'll say all that, man, because a lot of people didn't really care for the way he did it, which I definitely agree. I don't feel like he should have went up there and slapped him, of course. But definitely could have been handled different ways. But also what I say is, like, if people have not read his book, read the book. Because when it happened, I wasn't necessarily surprised. I mean, I was surprised it happened on live TV, but I wasn't surprised he slapped him. And I say that because in his speech he was talking about, being there for my family, saving family members, and blah, blah, blah. So in his book, he talks about it a lot because his mom got beat
Right.
damn near all his life. And he just watched it. And he was just like, I never did anything. I never stood up. And I say all that because, let's be honest, Will's not an alpha. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
He's not an alpha.
Yeah.
Think about everything that's going on in their relationship. He is not an alpha. I'm going to say that because go ahead.
He's not an alpha in his household. I feel like.
I mean, I ain't talking about just general all around like he's not a leader and not
Right.
but
Okay.
as far as
Then I can accept that. When it comes to that relationship, he's not the alpha.
No, because I think with his whole situation, like he was so bent on, I've been seeing my mom get beat all this time. I want to do everything right by this woman and not fuck it up. And then when that whole situation happened, he was like, oh, now I gotta step up.
Right.
And then he like, now I gotta go slap shit out of Chris Rock. And Chris didn't deserve that. I don't.
No.
You know.
Not at all.
People say they didn't see it coming. Yeah, I didn't see it coming as a sense of him slapping him, but if you get up on stage walking to me, I'm getting defensive. Like, nigga, what you want?
What's
The
happening?
high leg back, you know.
Well, I mean, that.
I thought them niggas were swingers anyway.
Well, okay, we'll get to that.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But,
I think the only reason is a big old problem because August Alsina ran his mouth and talked about it.
I mean, he did because I mean, we've talked about this on several occasions off mic that you know Will and Jay have been doing their thing, but they've been quiet about it for this long. And I feel like when it came to that, like I'm pretty sure NDAs were signed and all that shit, whatever. So nothing's put out there. But then at the same time, when the whole thing with August ran his mouth, and I don't know the full background of it. I just feel like he shouldn't have ran his mouth. If he hadn't ran his mouth, it wouldn't have been a thing. And then with Jada having her whole red table talk, that was just fuel to the fire. Like,
which will also add fuel to this fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm willing to believe that maybe Will didn't even know about August at all.
Nigga call him.
He
called him.
If you haven't, I mean, for it
He
to
was
be,
staying in their house.
He was a living.
but if we talk,
patient.
if we just talking about contractual agreements, and August is not in that contract, that's why I'm.
I mean,
I think Jada let that slip.
That's what I'm saying, and Will, as a consequence, didn't know
Not
that.
sure
Until the red
I don't
table.
know
Not
if these
sure.
are just rumors, but I thought goddamn Will was goddamn giving the pipe to Eva Mendez when they was doing the hit.
And
heard
there's
about it.
again,
I heard about
that's
But it's
we'll
not-
get to that.
again,
We'll
I
get
talked
to
about
that.
We'll
get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
But as far as the whole actual Will Chris thing, where you said you wasn't necessarily surprised because of what he's expressed and everything, but which it's true. I mean, because live TV and everything, but that's a different setting as far as you weren't expecting to see that. But as far as defending your wife and everything, a lot of these I guess girlfriends, wives are out here looking at this, like that's how my man's supposed to act and blah blah blah. All right, cool,
Yeah.
sure, but like maybe not in front of the world, literally. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sure if it made it to the airwaves or anything, but like my perspective was like, yeah, I get where he came from with that reaction, but like at the same time, it was literally like 45 seconds away from the next commercial break. You know what I'm saying? So like if you really felt like you had to really come, speak your piece, slap the man, whatever, it could have waited until the camera wasn't like literally center stage on what you were doing. Yeah. And then a lot of people were like, no, it happened on live TV, so the repercussions. Okay, cool. But like at the same time, the way social media and the internet and everything is these days, we were still gonna see Chris Rock get slapped. Just the same way that like there have been extra perspectives like behind Jada, behind Will, and all this stuff since then. It still would have came out that Chris Rock got slapped. Like that, there's no getting around that. It would have made it to the internet.
Yeah,
But
facts.
now the thing where we start to get into the actual topic of the episode is the Pimpin No Simpin. Jada's the pimp in the relationship, like straight up. Like he has been open with the fact that like it was not his decision to have the open situation that that they have, and it's obvious. Like when you see them out together and just looking at their different interactions as a unit when they're out, it's generally Jada that seems to be running the show. Like what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm not saying she called the shots, but like more or less. Like facts.
Oh, no,
I know of another couple
You
that's.
trying to say you think she's not calling shots?
I think she is calling the shots.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
go
sure,
ahead.
yeah, for sure, absolutely.
I could think of another married couple that has that dynamic, that where the husband is not running the household. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
That's fair.
I wouldn't say he's not running the household. He's just getting his ass ate.
Nah, he ain't running that.
Oh,
Are you
He's
saying
not.
that strictly off of the base of the whole
Booty bugle?
Nah, nigga, I'm talking about the son. son turning into the daughter thing, man.
I mean, that's one of those
Yes,
things.
that's better than the salad toss. Yeah, for sure.
Because
But-
I'm not letting my wife put that. She can put it in the book, but then no, she's not gonna put that in the book. No,
Like,
absolutely not. No, now I think about it, no, she's not gonna put that in the book. Because I mean, if we talking about sex between two married people, that's ours.
Right.
That ain't the whole world to know. You know what I'm saying? Then for her to put that in the book and then allow it to get released to the public like
That's
that.
well, I mean, it's different
It's a lot of
perspectives.
dudes
though.
out
We're
here
not
that be
celebrities.
getting booty eaten.
Fine, but just
Whereas,
off
like, I feel like if you're on a platform to where the world basically already knows most of your life, and especially when like you have Dwayne Wade, or I guess now, which she's hasn't been prominent in the film community as far as I've seen. I haven't seen her in too many movies, but like she still has status and presence in the industry.
Yeah.
She has followers that like probably come to her for situations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the same way like women used to go to magazines and like this is what you do and blah blah blah. So like I kind of understand where like they're giving more of a explicit view into their situation now. For us, like not celebrity people, it is one thing. Not to, nah, you ain't gonna know that about me and my wife or whatever, this and the third. But like, I guess as celebrities, they see themselves like, I'm helping people by letting them know the situations that I'm getting into and blah, with this, that. Now, I'm not necessarily agreeing with.
Okay,
I'm not getting my ass ate.
because
And I'm like,
I won't even say that. No, I won't say that. I was just gonna say that's the problem though. That's the problem that we're facing right now, especially with coming to the whole Will Smith and Jada situation. Now these not celebrity women are expecting us not celebrity men to
act
do this
just
type
like
of
that.
stuff.
Yeah, right.
We're not doing that.
Hey, man.
But this is the thing. I'm not speaking as a woman, but this is what I'm gonna say. I feel like in a situation where someone is embarrassing your wife, they're not looking at it as, oh yeah, if you on that Will level, you should go up there and smack the shit out of them. I think they're looking at it as, if we at a party or something like that, a man out here disrespecting me, I expect you to handle it.
Yeah,
But
that's
then in turn, it just depends on the situation, because you
Right.
have some situations where women are allowing this to happen, bringing
Right.
on all
Almost
this stuff.
instigating.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you
facts.
get dropped into it,
Right.
and now you looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Now you done became a T-shirt.
And that ain't pimping.
Facts.
No, not at all.
Because if you
I mean, she's pimping.
yeah, well, I'm just saying, but if
handle
these
my
women-
lightweight. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a problem, and I'm not saying it's all women, but the problem is that we'll see a lot of stuff. We'll see a lot of like, for instance, if somebody would ask a woman what do they want out of a man, and a lot of times it's like understanding and emotional. As we've seen in the Oscars or the highlights, this is what you get when somebody's emotional, because you got to think there's levels to being emotionally stable.
Right.
That man was emotionally unstable.
Right.
These women don't want that. I'm willing to bet that
That's
they
very
don't
true.
want
That's very true.
want
Like,
that aspect
And honestly,
of emotional man.
I think it's like a perfect storm of, like, they are an epitome of a toxic relationship in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because like you got to look at like the image that Will has portrayed previous to this occurrence.
Yeah.
He's always been like the most
laced.
like laid back, handled himself the way he was supposed to, professional in every situation. Even I mean, there's been some extremes where like I think you brought up where he slapped the reporter or whatever. Which I mean, if somebody kissed me and I. No, like I told that was you kind of got that one
history
coming.
of smelly people, don't he?
I mean,
that was that one incident.
I mean,
that I know.
and that's extreme.
That's
Somebody, I know it's more than that, but it's generally usually a well-provoked response, not necessarily walking up on stage and doing what he did.
Yeah.
But like, as far as she goes, like she has had a steadily occurring pattern of like, I didn't like this, and so this is what we did to change that. Whereas, far as you've never heard Will really say that, like, I'm not a fan about this, about my relationship. Like, he basically just rolls with whatever she says, she's not happy with, and he fixes it. So, like, and what's ugly and why I say it's toxic is because she has identified that, and she has capitalized and leveraged and done everything that she could to, like, utilize his flexibility for her. I'm not going to call it a weakness, because like love really will make you do some crazy things, which is why I'm saying it's a perfect picture of toxic. Because like he would not have gone up on stage and slapped Chris Rock if he hadn't looked over and seen Jada looking like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it was only because he looked over there and was like, oh, damn. See, all right, well, I guess I got to defend my family now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think he had like a Wayne Brady switch. Like,
Right.
Damn, does Will Smith have to go smack him?
Boom. And then it happened. So, like, there's just been too many, other than this, things where I see between them, she is definitely, I'm not going to say I am going to say a manipulator. You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I was
Like,
thinking of.
she's definitely pulling strings.
I think the whole household is toxic. You got like, I don't know if y'all seen this, but you got Willow writing letters to Tupac. And Tupac is, what, he got killed in like 90.
Willow was writing letters to Tupac?
96.
It was,
Yeah.
96.
Wait, why
Like-
is she writing letters to Tupac?
That's why.
To come back.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently the letter's like, my mom was happy when you was here, so please come back.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
Oh.
ain't this nigga dead?
Right.
Damn, it wasn't nothing. Jada love Pop, but she got her kids love that
Willow
nigga too.
is writing letters to Tupac, a dead man.
Oh.
Saying I wish you would have came back because mommy was happy.
Meanwhile,
And
Tupac
Kevin
on his
Samuels-
own
Kevin-
island somewhere.
What's his name?
Could
Kevin
be.
Samuels?
Could be. Kevin Samuels, yeah.
Yeah, he the one that addressed it.
And look,
Like,
to all the viewers, I watch him. I listen to him.
He's a fan.
I am a fan. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well,
I don't
y'all-
digest all of it, but I watch his material.
Y'all already know my take on it. I feel like it was staged. I feel like this was something to, promote Chris Rock's little stand-up show or whatever he got going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, bro, you see the man lean into the smack before the smack even happened. It was like he was bracing himself for the smack.
If anybody, if you feel like you might get stuck,
I'm saying, but before, Will Smith wasn't even all the way up on him yet, and it was before he even cocked his hand back for the smack,
But
Chris
you're
Rock's
not
face
gonna
was
tense
braced
up when a
for it.
nigga start walking towards you.
Man, if you knew the nigga was coming with a smack, you wasn't gonna block it.
Maybe
You're
he
not-
thought about
I
the
mean,
whisper
but
to
you're
him.
not necessarily in case he wasn't coming up for the smack. It was like I don't think you
You
saw
know
Like,
that.
does he-
the way you just put it,
Good.
maybe he did. Think
Maybe
he
you
was
trying to
about
whisper something
to him like,
You're like,
hey
hey,
man, keep
right,
my name
Right.
out.
You
Cause
know
like,
my name, my before I slap shit at you. Be like,
But-
all right, let's
Right.
move on to something else.
This-
Okay, I can get it from coming that way, but I
Yeah.
still feel like it was staged. I
And
feel like all of it was staged.
But
for-
you
for
see him
moments.
ball his fist up too. Like it could go either way.
Maybe bruh didn't expect him to smack him that hard. I feel like the smack was part of the show. Or something to take your mind off of what's really going on in the world. People just be talking about, it's a distraction, man. They just gonna be talking about how Will smacked the shit out of Chris Rock. By the way, he did smack the shit out of him.
Taste
damn.
Tastefully. He unbuttoned his jacket before he came in and buttoned his shit back
pow,
up.
straighten it up, and walk back. to
Walk
the
right
to a
back
duel
to his seat.
smack.
Like, what, boy?
But I think maybe Chris Rock just thought it wasn't that deep, so he
Right.
maybe he's about to come whisper in my ear and say something like,
Yeah, or he
No,
could have
see,
just.
I thought he was
my
about
wife's
the
name.
Kanye
Calm down, my
situation.
wife.
Like, yeah, get the mic,
I thought he was-
keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I feel like that's what Chris was preparing for. Like, he about to come up here and talk some shit. And then, when he kept approaching, I feel like when Will was still looking down, he was like, okay, this is heavier than him talking shit. Is he about to, say something? And then Will looks up, and he didn't have no type of, he had that quick to respond to what was happening in front of him. And then when Will looked up and literally didn't say nothing, went straight to back, drawing back, I feel like he, at that point, was like, is this really about to smack? That's what happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to Chris Rock's history, everybody watched Everybody Hates Chris and everything like that. The man legitimately grew up getting slapped. You know what I'm saying? And so people talking about, hey, no way you gonna take a slap like that, blah blah. If you grew up getting slapped the shit out of, it's probably like a normal Tuesday to you. You feel me? Right. The response to get because notice when he came back, he checked to see if Will was still advancing, and then he was like, oh, he walked because he came back hey, Will, what's happening now? And then realized Will was turning to walk away. It was like, okay, that's a thing, and then went to de-escalate the room and everything. Which, again, I will comment on how professionally he handled that. If it was not indeed staged, I commend Chris Rock's handling of that.
I mean, that's just whoopings. Some people see whoopings as abuse, and then other people see it that's just how I grew up, This is like
Yeah,
a
you gotta
regular.
talk to the mic, man, because you don't sound far away.
Oh, I do sound far away. Oh, but I feel like it's like how people see whoopings. Like some people grew up getting whoopings every day because they, being bad at school, doing, hood rat stuff. But then there's some people that didn't get whoopings and they see that shit as like abuse.
Right.
And they're
Facts.
like might report like.
And then some people that grew up getting whooped and now see it as abuse, and like I know people that grew up getting whooped and legitimately that is the most terrible thing you could do to their child. Like there's no way they about to lay a hand on them. Like you don't got to go that far. Blah blah blah.
See, but I lean into it. I'm not gonna say I sympathize with that. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, I grew up getting whooped. I'm not gonna whoop my child. I grew up getting whooped, and then at some point I was like, I'm probably not gonna do that to my kid. But then when I got older, I was like, nah, I'm gonna do that.
Like you need this.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Yeah.
a lesson that must be learned.
Man, to me, it's about respect, man. You ain't respect that man enough to handle a situation like a man. You really went up there and bitch slapped, bro.
I mean,
Well,
you
see, that was
respect-
my
you
thing.
respect
I
him
feel
if that's
like
somebody's wife.
If you look at it, bro, like what's worse than getting smacked in the face as a man? What's worse than getting smacked in the face as a other man, other than like getting spit on?
Yeah.
You feel me? Other than getting spit on, like that's the low, bro. You slapped me, bro. Like,
I mean,
damn.
And
bro.
then walked off like
Walked
a
off like I'm a hoe.
Turned
Like,
your
like
back
I'm a
on me and
bitch or
walked
something. Like,
off.
I bet in New York, Chris Rock probably lost a lot of his street cred. Like, bro, you ain't even do shit, bro.
But he's in a most
I
prestigious environment.
would
So like
give a father.
he retaliated. His
fuck.
career
I
is
mean,
done.
but like
Man,
that's
he already rich,
we're
bro.
allowed
It
to
would have
have
been done if you retaliated.
Yeah,
like
he
Chris Rock.
retaliated.
You're
Chris
talking
Rock.
about this is the Oscars. That was a
Man,
historical
Chris
night.
Rock is already rich, right? The nigga already got
He not
money.
Will Smith rich.
No,
So he rich,
He's not Will Smith rich.
he got
bro. When you
he's
rich,
gonna-
he got
He
some
get-
bucks, bro.
How long he been hosting the Oscars? He's hosting the
That's
Oscars,
his
bro.
second or
bro
third
got
time
money.
hosting.
It's all
Like
I'm
you
saying.
gotta
He
think these
got
hosts
Will
get
Smith.
Bro
money.
got money.
Ryan Seacrest, that
money.
money gets
Yeah.
money.
Well, I mean, well, he produces
If
everything.
I
Yeah.
can
So, like,
see,
he got big
if
money.
I can hear an NBA player saying that he can retire right now, and he only been in the league for like 6 years, he said he can retire right now and never work another day in his life. His mom, his dad, his brothers, none of them will never work another day in their life. Chris Rock got money, bro. 'Cause I know
Okay,
Chris
but
Rock
still-
got more than that NBA player,
But
bro.
you still got that's still two different levels of financial
And he
stature
old,
between Will
and
Smith and Chris
He ain't
Rock.
living too much longer.
Damn.
Chris Rock old.
Wow, that's
I ain't trying to
age.
say.
Well,
I ain't
They're
trying to
around the
say.
same age.
Bro, what I'm trying to say is, bro, the nigga is not young. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like,
just look older.
he done lived probably more than half of his life already, bro.
That's fine.
But
Bro.
like, so what you got to lose, bro? Fuck that. I would have beat
Then he
his
should. Then he
ass.
doesn't need to host the
I
Oscars
would've
no more. Then if he's that set on
I
his
would
money,
have
he don't need to host
his
the Oscars
ass
no more.
up and down.
Hey,
that
but,
damn
hey, but
motherfucker,
y'all
bro.
remember that Kevin Hart had a chance to host the Oscars. They took away from him because
Yes.
of the comment he made on one of his stand-ups that's
Years
recorded years ago.
Matter of
So-
fact, it was on Twitter actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not hard to lose that check. Like, but now granted, Kevin Hart isn't no bad for himself. Kevin Hart gonna get money
Yeah, he's out
regardless.
there
now.
Like he's a hustler. He gonna get money regardless. But just losing all that status quo and all that,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It's not.
And now-
it's not worth it.
But then I guess my thing is people think Chris Rock is a bitch. He's not a bitch.
He's really
this nigga,
not.
he's minding
He's
his
smart.
money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Smart facts. He
And-
wasn't sacrificing his career for that.
No.
moment.
No.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
No.
Career.
He
He got a career.
He has
I
a
mean,
He got a career. Just because he
But I'm
went over with
saying, like-
Adam Sandler ain't really been doing
I mean,
shit,
just
but he
because,
still got a
just
career.
because he's been in the game that long, don't mean he's ready to
Man,
just
bro,
lay it
like-
all on the line.
man.
Which is
for
why
that
I
moment,
said
you know what I'm
he
saying?
ain't
Like,
got Will Smith money
Like
to do
I
that.
said, bro. Before he got smacked, his tickets wasn't selling. So what career is he talking about, man?
Bitch yourself
What
before
does he
him.
have to
He had a-
lose,
he had a
man?
long career
I
before
would
that.
exactly. He good. Exactly. He good. I
He not
would
Will
beat-
Smith good.
What you mean? I don't
He
care.
ain't Will Smith good.
Oh,
Man, man, somebody look.
That's
No,
what I'm
let me
saying.
look up.
I
Somebody
got-
look up
Alright, that's
stats.
cool.
I don't
Look
care
up the
about
money.
none of that.
I ain't gotta look it up.
I already got
know.
money. I already
Yeah.
got. If I'm Chris Rock, I already got money.
Then
I
he don't
get
need
it.
to host the Oscars no more then.
I mean, why they
I don't
open
give
it
a fuck.
up?
I want
Because he
Kev.
obviously need it.
I want Kev Day didn't show me on
He
TV
would need it if he had
ever
hosted
again.
BET Awards. Then he need it.
Okay, well,
That's
he,
that's
he
different.
definitely ain't on Will Smith level, but he's
But
60
he up
mil.
there.
I'm telling
He up there.
You hear that?
But he said-
60 mil.
you. Okay, that's
Some people
fine.
don't even make a meal in their lifetime.
I understand
I
that.
would have
but-
beat his ass.
But I'm saying,
I
what
would've
Chris
beat-
Rock gonna do?
Hey,
I would
What's
have
Will's?
beat
Will's
Will
that
Smith
He's
ass.
not
and
gonna
I would
do
have
that.
downsized. I would have downsized
To
on
what?
my house and all that. With 60 million, nigga, who cares, bro? I would have got a look. I would
He
have got a house.
retire now, be good.
You fit,
You don't need
man. I would have beat Will Smith ass, bro. I get it, Will. You taking up for your wife and everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's 350.
Yeah. Exactly.
350 million.
Exactly.
I ain't even talking about the money. I'm
Yeah,
talking about
so
the
Chris
respect at
is
this
60
point.
or 60.
Chris is 60 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
60.
Will Smith is
Yeah.
350.
That's
It
like
ain't
that.
about the
That's like
money.
that.
It's about
Yeah.
the respect at this point. You couldn't
I mean-
respect me enough to talk to me as a man. You want
No,
to
I'm saying
slap
that's
me like I was-
disrespectful all
It
around.
was, like,
Chris
he
is
was
not gonna
really
put himself in
important.
that position to do
All right,
that.
all
I
right,
would have
hey,
beat
okay,
that
hey,
Negro's
hold on.
ass,
All right,
bro.
straight up.
Jake, hold that
Damn,
energy. Hold that energy. All right, so you talking about, you see all the apologies and repercussions coming behind Will Smith's actions, right? Like
Right.
the man broke down, cried, had a whole emotional episode and
If he
everything.
will, he can do that.
So you gotta understand. All right, so let's take your perspective. Will went up there and beat the whole holy shit out of this man. How's he feeling after that? You feel me? Like he's just getting the Academy repercussions, and like, you know, I'm sure he might have lost a couple fans or whatever this that over slapping him. If he'd have got up on
Repercussions of your actions. He did it. He
okay,
did it.
and so you would be
That's
bearing
just-
some heavy repercussions if you jumping up on stage beating somebody's whole
And
ass.
like I said, I wouldn't care because I already have the fucking 60 mil. I'm good. I'm beating this nigga's ass, and I'm good. You will not hear from me again.
Hey, I mean, he got the bill,
Okay,
buddy.
but that's the thing though. Like
But-
a slap
but
and a
unless
whole
it's
ass
self-defense.
whooping. You like if he would have if he would have got up there and legitimately put hands on Chris Rock. There's no, I'm going back to my seat. He would have gotten
Oh, yeah,
arrested.
Chris
He would have
Rock
been.
would've-
But he literally went up there and laid a hand on
A hand,
to
and
his face.
even legally in
Hard.
court, even legally in court, an open hand strike counts differently than a closed fist does.
I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
just,
Hey, y'all
just,
seen
just
how
the
he
law and street shit is different.
Right.
Just-
Absolutely.
yeah.
I would have been A-Town stumping that nigga into that Oscar stage.
Oh, we
bro.
want to say the
In my black Timberlands. I don't give a fuck, bro. I would have been
Timberland
fucking that
energy?
nigga up, bro. You know what? Black Air Force Ones, you right. Black Air Force Ones,
I
goddamn.
don't know. Black Timbs is different, man.
I know,
That's
but
execution.
You get
That's
niggas
it.
violent.
You gotta
get
assassinate
violent on the
somebody.
scene, bro. Like that shit right there is different.
Right.
You was hitman if you
You ain't
stuck
giving
it on
nobody no
Timbs.
smiley with no Air Force Ones.
Nah.
it was just fucked up, bro. And I just don't see. And this
I
is,
agree
I
with
guess
you,
is my
man.
mind.
I'm with you.
In
I'm-
my mind,
yeah.
it was just fucked up, and I don't see Chris Rock really standing there getting bitch slapped and not doing nothing. That's why I feel like it was staged, and I feel like the whole Chris Rock brother, what's it with Tony
yeah.
Rock on stage when he was talking about, not on the Oscar stage, but at
Yeah,
his little
his own
stand
deal.
up.
I'm sorry, but Tony's not even at $1 million. Let's just make that clear.
Well, we already know that, but I'm just saying, even that, I feel like that was staged. I feel like he got them fans rowdy, so hey, shit, maybe we can buy some tickets.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
But he
When
was
was
on
the
a
last
couple
time
TV
you
shows, so like he might have a little.
What
Bit.
you talking
TV
about,
shows
Eve?
that people don't watch.
I mean, no, he's been on something since Eve. I can't
he's
remember
been on
the
a
name
couple.
of it.
Yeah,
He's been
I-
on a
what?
couple TV
Man,
shows. I can't name them because I didn't watch them.
everybody
I
else
remember
watch
Eve.
I didn't watch them, but I have
calm
seen him in the
that shit
cast.
down,
I
sir.
remember Eve.
I'm just saying.
I remember
that-
Eve.
I've seen him in the cast of other shows since then. Like I do know that. But either way, either way.
Show money
Shows
is
that
better
people
than
We'll
who
Google
don't
it.
watch.
We'll Google it after the.
All right,
Oh, we're
so-
gonna Google that now. Okay.
Yeah, we'll Google it after the show.
That's the thing. All right, so about let's get to the pimping over simping or
Yeah.
I mean, we was deep in it, so I mean, it is what
right.
it is.
But all right, so as far as pimping over simping, so what's your perspective? Which one would you rather be?
Which one I'd
That's
rather
an
be
open question on
in
the
that
floor.
situation, just in general.
Just, not in their situation, just like in general.
I feel like I'd rather be the pimp. Because it's like, when you the simp, you pretty much have no happiness. You just,
I'm not
let
gonna
shit
say you don't
slide.
have no happiness. You happy to serve
You run a greater
who it is
risk
you
of
trying to
being,
Happy to serve.
you
I
run
mean,
a
I guess
greater
it's
risk of
depending
being
on who.
hurt.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
like,
it depends.
yeah. So overall, how do you feel?
I'll say something. If you at the point where just anybody ain't gotta be a spouse, but somebody just yeah, I know. She ain't white. But you get to the point where if somebody has that much power over you as far as manipulating you to do something to that extent of going and slapping somebody in the face, that's not pimping. That's not pimping, especially in the regards of these, social constructs of, you know, especially for the male space, being a you know, a provider and you know, providing safety, because I think that's what a lot of women are looking for, you know, providing safety, which ain't a bad thing. You know, I fully promote that. I would want my woman to feel safe around me.
Right.
If I'm doing some shit like that in real life, she's
Not Will Smith.
not Will Smith-esque. You know what I'm saying? She would not feel safe because I've gone outside. I done gone out of my body, just smacking random niggas in the face, all because of a short haircut joke. You know, just words. And just to say, just say I'm married. You know, I'm putting my family at a greater risk because now I got to be separated from my family, my wife, daughter, and things like that. You know, it puts them at a disadvantage because now they don't have that strong male presence.
Not to mention, you never know how far the other party is willing to take things.
Exactly. I have no idea what the other person's capable of.
He said some words. You walk up, smack the shit out of him. He happened to be. He got a strap in his back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no do-over, there's no reset button, none of that. Like we got real life turns happening because like, there ain't no way Chris Rock was strapped. There ain't no he ain't see it coming. He ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? So like true, but like it's different as far as like everyday life goes. So I understand where you coming from. For me, like I feel like a lot of people see simp as weakness. And I mean, granted, you are opening yourself up to a lot more hurt, a lot more, you know, people are out here, especially on a broad spectrum. There's a lot more people out here looking to take advantage of something than they are to actually feed and, like, you know, help something grow.
Yeah.
But I will say that, like, in my previous years as a straight slap ass, straight up and down, like 6 o'clock simp, you get, like, I say it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's a 6 o'clock.
but at the same time, like there, you get almost if you're willing to be so open with somebody, like it, you know, if you happen to have the wrong person on the other end of that connection, of course, you know, it can go badly. But I will say that when you have somebody that open, and it's not now, mind you, when I was a simp, it wasn't like I was just out here heartless, like not heartless, but like heart just throwing it at folks trying to get away and all that. They earned it, you know what I'm saying? They did earn me being like they got into me. And so like sharing that open of a connection with somebody, which is honestly another reason why I guess we can dive into my perspective as a simp. Like not everybody can be like, you know, it's because like there's one way, you know, there's even classes on how to go out there and be a pimp, you know, how to get these ladies and all stuff like that. You can't teach simp. Like if you ain't got the emotions, if you don't have that in you, it's not something that like somebody miraculous or some event has to come to you and then open like and actually change how you feel and think to have it that way. But I will say, like I said, when you're that open, that raw connection, that how close, that happiness, that satisfaction that you get in that moment it almost makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying? Now,
so, quick question. So, are you saying it's easier to be a pimp than it is a simp?
No, I'm saying that like it's easier to learn how to be pimp than it is because like if you don't come out the womb like I'm not gonna say overly emotional, but like deeply intact with your emotions and like know how to express them and be open like that. You can talk to somebody who doesn't have that and try to get them to get there. It's not gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not built. They're not wired that way.
Because I mean, that's kind of what you taught. You're taught to be nice first. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I mean, overall, if it's not in you to be that way, because it's obvious out in society that there's a lot of people that like legitimately emotions are not on the same level as far as because like they'll be in situations for 5, 6, 7 years. Some shit will happen. And they already off on the next one, not even really thinking about it.
Yeah.
And
so, what's y'all definition of a simp?
Yeah, that's why.
Because
I'm really kind of confused.
Because all right, my definition of a simp would be somebody who's like just plain a dude who's just like plain stupid in a relationship, basically. Like a yes man in a relationship. That's what my definition of a simp would be. Because if you're me personally, it's all about communication in a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, in my head, I don't know if it's like that for y'all, but I guess a dude's ideal relationship would probably be with a submissive woman, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So in order for that woman to be submissive, you guys would have to make her feel like that she's
It's
comfortable around
to
you
be
to
submissive,
be
yeah.
submissive to.
Yeah.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? So if you're treating a woman like how a woman should be treated, you know, yeah, maybe some pimps will call that nigga a simp, but you're not a simp. You're
Right.
doing what a man's supposed to be doing in order for that woman to be submissive to you.
But I
So-
guess where the simp comes from is there's no return after doing said things.
No, well,
So
they out here
a
giving
simp to
girls
now, like,
gas
come on,
money
bro.
for,
If
that's
a girl if a girl is telling you that she needs to be with another man in order to be that woman that you want her to be, and you're okay with it,
She's
that's
pimping
what I
your
would
simp.
call. That's what
Yeah.
I would call a simp.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Not being with another man in order for her to be
Right,
happy.
Like as far as like
sexually or in actual
yeah, sex,
I mean,
like, yeah.
I feel just like a general introduction to the situation, like just a dude introduced to the situation, like
Unless you're okay with that, bro, you're a simp, bro. Like if
Yeah,
you
I mean,
if you're
I
doing
agree.
that to please her and it's not making you happy, then that's what I would call a simp. Because why are you chasing after this woman and doing what she wants you to do for her to feel happy, but you're not happy doing it?
Well, y'all should have been here for whole facts. This would have led
Yeah.
right into
Yeah.
it.
But I
Because
feel
I
like-
like go ahead.
No, I feel the same way. I feel like as a simp, you find what being a,
doormat.
server instead of a boss. You know, when you be a pimp, you pretty much a boss. You have this mindset that you gonna put your foot down when it needs to be put down.
Right.
But as a simp, you just take shit and just
Yeah.
roll with
I
it,
feel
and
like-
your feelings don't matter.
I feel like there's levels to it. Like there's I guess the end of the spectrum I was describing, and then there's the whole just like selfless, bowing at the feet, putting them up on a pedestal and stuff like that's simping. Like that's
Yeah.
simping to the max degree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as far as where I was coming from, like as far as being simp is where you're like more or less open with.
Let them finish. Let them finish.
That's why I was raising my hand.
I
That's
mean,
why I
if
was
you
raising
if
my
you
hand.
got
Go-
something like
let's
is it,
finish.
I want you to finish, but that's why I was raising my hand. So let them know, hey, I gotta say something.
but like as far as what you were describing, that is like to the max degree. Now overall, a pimp is going to look at any level of what I guess is on the other end of the spectrum as simps in the weakest, like almost like repulsive sort of way that because that's the way they look at it. Like I'll take a pair of gators over a hoe, but like what I'm saying, but they stressing over the feelings about the hoe. You feel me?
Yeah.
Sure.
But go ahead, say what you gotta say.
When you said that putting that significant other or that person on a high pedestal, I ain't gonna lie to you, I put my wife on a
No,
high
but see, but it gets
I don't
returned.
feel like
It gets
I'm a-
returned.
Oh yeah, well,
We're
but
saying
another-
that don't the center
That
return.
get zero, no
That's
no
what we said.
reciprocation. Like
Well, yeah, I get what y'all saying, but then a lot of the stuff, a lot of stuff too, I guess you could say is maybe you don't know the dynamic of the relationship. Maybe that dude's not getting that stuff in return because he's still not, doing what she wants. You know what I'm saying? To make her
in
feel
that
submissive
particular
enough to-
situation, it seems more or less like she's using him than any sort of actual relationship. Because like that's definitely a thing. Like
I have a
legitimately.
friend who was going through something like that. That's why I said
Second
that.
situation where he's giving it all and she's
In no way, shape, or form is my boy a simp, but
sound like it's
he is definitely going through.
Ain't looking too
some
good
things.
for him right now.
It sound like it's
No, it's actually it's looking good. It's looking great now, but at first it wasn't.
You have the floor, sir.
I'm not speaking on no one else's relationship.
You ain't put his name out there.
No,
You not
I'm
put his
saying,
name out there.
But
That's still,
but
you know,
yeah, it's
that's-
still
yeah,
a touchy.
I get that.
ain't doing that.
I mean, the only reason I'm asking or pushing it because I'm trying to see how it relates to what we're talking about. Because if he's being a simp but everything's good, copacetic, he's happy, cool. But
That's the
if
Let's
that's
put
not
it this
the
way:
case,
the only way for the relationship, I guess, well, he wouldn't be happy, but the only way to please that person in the relationship would be for him to be a simp, and he ain't going for it.
He ain't going for
You
it.
feel
He's
me?
like, nah.
Yeah. So that's what it's like a similar situation, and I'm actually happy my boy got himself out of it.
Oh, so okay.
Oh, all right.
So the way that's why I asked you, because the way you were saying, I thought it was still an ongoing thing. Like he just kind of fell into it or whatever. So it's not the case. So, all right. So I mean, with that being said, with the pimping and simping behavior or whatnot, like I feel like, as far as me, if I had to choose between the two, I'm probably gonna lean more towards the pimp.
Right.
I say that because, you know, there was a time I was in my pocket where I was just like, I ain't gonna let none of these females hurt me again.
Right.
You know,
Facts.
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and they just gonna deal with it. If they want me, they want me. They don't, they don't. And I just keep on moving forward or whatever. Because even in one relationship I was in, I told her from the get go, I'm like, I'm not trying to have a relationship. That's not the mode I'm on right now.
Right.
So like, oh yeah, that's cool. We can run it like that. I'm like, all right, I'm being
Okay.
for real.
Yeah.
Then
What
when
it's
you
gonna
start, right, and then when she started getting attached and wanted me to do this, that's that, and the third, you know, I was like,
This is looking real relationship.
yeah, this looks like a real relationship. And I was like, I didn't come in for all that, you know. I was just trying to, you know, play the game per se. And,
I was here for
and
the
turn it off.
relationship and keep the boat.
Right. But you know, for me, like, you know, like I don't want to tell myself too much. So there has been times where I just know, like, if I was back out there again, I'm not holding
It's
back.
not right. Fact.
I'm not, like, I did a lot of holding back already. If I'm not back out there,
Now let it loose.
I feel the same way.
I'm talking about I'm on some frozen shit. Let it go. Let it go. Like, but that's just how I feel. But if I had to choose between two, I would definitely move more simp because, pimp. Because as a simp, I was not happy with the situation. I currently kept coming to the woman like, hey, you know, I want you. Why you playing with me? And, you know, it became a thing. And, you know, that'll be something I'll probably touch on more when we get into not our next topic, but a couple episodes down, which is dating a woman with kids. That'll be a good one. So I'm going to hold back some stuff I want to say. But just know, you know, I didn't care, and I was like, I'm the pappy. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, just with all that being said or whatnot, it's just like the dynamic has definitely changed. It used to be, you know, you got guys out here running the street with X amount of females, and now that scale has tipped. And now the women have the X amount of males, and they doing their thing, and blah, blah, blah. But to speak on what you were saying earlier, so with the whole situation about a man being with a woman in a relationship and not necessarily caring for the lifestyle she lives, in our third episode, Whole Facts, that was a thing. One of our guests was talking about how she would want another male in a relationship or whatever, and, you know, they just do it like that or whatnot. And, of course, the man not going for it, he's just like, nah, I can't. You know, good.
And at that point, that's where he should have removed himself from a relationship. Because if you can't handle it, no, bro. If she tell you that she feel like the relationship would be better, like if this woman feels like the relationship would be better with another male in the relationship, and you not feeling that, bro, how y'all gonna work past that? How you work past that?
I feel you though.
How you work past that?
I
So
feel
you would be happier if it was another dude. Well, you need to go find you a dude who's okay with that. Vice versa, if a man told his female that, hey, you know what I'm saying? I love you and everything, but I would be much more happier with another female in this relationship. If she's not digging that and she knows in her head she's not gonna become a woman who's into that, you're wasting your time at that point. It ain't gonna work. Relationship ain't gonna work. So that's just me.
Okay.
I feel
She's gonna wind up cheating, bro.
On a
Straight
broad,
up.
on a broad level.
That's just me.
On a broad level, that's a true statement. I agree with you. Yeah. Now there are situations in some couples that do have massive, major differences in opinions and perspectives on things that do. They're in their current situation enough to work around stuff like that. Like, you know, it is it's being done. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. Now, overall, yeah, I agree with you because, like, as me myself, if that were ever brought to me, I'd be like, how about you go get that one, and you can go home with them, and then I'm gonna pay my tab and get on about it.
Because you definitely got to come in a relationship knowing that's the thing,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that has to be something that's discussed pretty early on in the relationship, like this is kind of what I'm expecting out of this, you know, situation or whatever.
Some dudes cool with that shit though.
I mean, yes, a
some
lot.
Some females are too.
It's a lot.
A lot of them.
There's a lot. Notice a lot of times this topic coming up with, you know, people that practice stuff like that. They don't talk about certain one-time things. They talk about parties. I mean, lots of people, bowls of contraceptives are at these things. You know what I'm saying?
This season about
And,
fun.
and so like, you know, there's people out there that learn how to, you know, work with each other based off of what they got. But
But what if you're a hybrid? Like,
I mean, that's exactly what I was about to say. That's literally exactly what. Go ahead.
Like sometimes the female can just feel like you have too much control. Like you just too bossy. You feel like she feel like you look at her as like a
Subject.
like a little bro. Like you just not.
Which that's
You know,
I mean that's
And like
it's a thing.
sometimes you gotta switch. You gotta be like, nah, that's not how I feel. You know,
Right.
You my queen, but I gotta stand on what I stand on.
Right.
Word.
I completely
Word.
I completely agree with that. Literally what my next statement was about to be. I feel like to maneuver, especially in these progressive times, you have to kind of sort of master a level of both. You know what I'm saying? You can't approach any situation just single track mindedly with, you know, this is how I'm going to be, especially if the person that you're with is somebody that you're supposed to be caring about. You can, I mean, generally most women, as Silk said, are looking for the man that's going to make them feel like it's okay to be submissive, which is that's definitely a positive thing in a relationship. But at times there are going to be occasions where you need to tone the bravado down and like understand that like if this woman that you're with is your partner, your teammate, they have an equal source, you know, kind of sort of base of power also in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't be all pimp, and for, you know, healthy situations you can't be all simp either, because generally if you are, it's not going to end well unless you found somebody that's willing to simp with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, which especially in these days, that no, no, not really going that way. Yeah. So
At
like,
that point, I felt like one of the simps would turn into the pimp in that situation. If the two simps got together, eventually, I feel like one of them would become the more dominant person in the relationship.
I mean, it's just like any other skill. So, you know, the more weight added, the more it shifts. So, I mean, at some point, yeah, it's possible it might happen. But, you know, I'm just going to take it there. So just say, for instance, if you got two virgins, would they both be simps?
I mean, you could be a simp and be a virgin.
So let me expand on that. So you have two inexperienced people getting together. They trying to figure stuff out. Blah, blah, blah. No one's dominant because no one knows what the fuck they're doing. So therefore, that's why I bring that question up.
Nah, but some virgins are like real nasty. Like,
how you gonna be real nasty when you never fuck? Look at church.
The imagination.
hey,
Facts.
hold up.
You like oral sex, ain't you?
Exactly.
I mean, like I'm saying, man, somebody can say you can still be a virgin and have oral sex because you ain't never had
Intercourse.
It's still sex, but if it's a female, she a virgin, and you eat her pussy, and you don't pop her hymen, you don't stick your tongue all up in there and goddamn pop her hymen, bro. She still, when somebody has sex with her, she gonna bleed. She's still gonna be considered a virgin.
I mean, but on that precedent, but I'm talking about as far as just sex in general, just the whole act of it all.
Well, then
you are still considered a virgin until your hymen get popped, or if you're a dude, until your dick been in some damn.
And y'all, have you ever watched that movie Saved?
No.
Watch that movie. It has Macaulay Culkin in
yeah.
it. Watch that movie Saved or whatever, because this one chick, she believed like, okay, as long as he's not, we have a child in the room.
Yeah.
As long as he's not penetrating me in my vaginal reasons, I'm still a virgin. So she was definitely taking it up the poop chute.
Still a virgin.
Nah, that's still.
She's just having
And that's the sad part. So regardless of her not getting deflowered the natural way, she's still technically having sex.
Ain't no sex and sex are two different things.
That's why it's
It
sodomy.
is sex. It got sex in the name.
Yeah.
Two different things.
But that just leans on to what they're saying, like, oh, I'm still a virgin because I haven't had vaginal intercourse.
I think one of
You're,
them's
you're a virgin in the act of baby making.
But that depends on what you see as like losing your virginity. If you see it as like a hole, something going in the hole, that's what you think. But if you see it as vaginal, as pleasure, then hey,
I think one of them's gonna be like, all right, bro, like, look, we went and did all this, and I still ain't went in. One of them's gonna be like, either one of them being the dude say, bro, I'm trying to get in, or maybe the girl's trying to say, I'm trying to let you in. one of them is gonna break the levy, and
If you can't have a baby with the act that you're doing, it ain't sex.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So basically, somebody can walk around 10 years and still just be a whole virgin just because they didn't have vaginal sex.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's a thing. They
that's
are still technically intact. You know what I'm saying?
and
Behind
they
them
still
has
had
not
an
been-
intimate moment though.
Yeah,
it's just-
sure.
intimacy is
but that's
intimacy is yeah.
it's not sex.
They still like soul bonded, kind of through that.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I can't say that.
Nah,
Nah, I
you
don't
can't. You
think-
ain't soul bond unless you go in there, man.
You gotta be in there.
You gotta be in
I
there.
think we can all agree on this.
Yeah,
Like,
You know when you hit the button.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
Man, you ain't touching those souls if you going in the poop shoot.
Nah.
You gotta touch the
soul,
souls.
just touching demons.
Yeah, that's what you. You going in the
Yeah.
poop shoot, you touching them demons, man.
Yeah.
Stay out of it.
Digestive system. Wow.
No business
Oh
plan.
my god.
Wow.
Damn.
But that's true though. Yeah.
Well,
That's the devil's play right there. You playing at the booty holes and stuff. That's the devil's play. Mouths too. But still, though, I'm into the whole oral sex.
I'm about to say you better tell
Not
me.
into the anal.
Got some guilty parties, 'cause, boy, them numbers are a little bit different on that.
You feel me?
Yikes.
Boy,
Well, this water good? Is
That's so
refreshing,
water,
ain't it?
the water's a Minnetonka.
But like I was saying, like I feel like to be efficient, you know, well, I can't really say that because you see a lot of successful pimps. But as far as like overall for a broader audience, I feel like to be efficient, you need to know how to be a little bit of both. You can't. Because like I said, there's going to be times in the marriage where like, yeah, she might have came to you as like you were the alpha, you were the, you know, taking care, I'm going to get shit done type, you know, person. But there are certain situations where you do need to level with your partner and like let that other teammate, you know, do what they do. Because if in any good relationship, you should have one person has their skill set, their categories that they're, you know, they specialize in, this, that, and the third. And then on the other side, you have, you know, the same thing. It can't just be a one-sided situation, and if it is, I can't really see that as a completely healthy relationship, because like a relationship is something you're supposed to do to come together and grow and develop both individually and in the situation. And so if you're doing that healthily, there has to be a good ratio of give and take. You know, it can't just be all one way all the time.
Word.
I agree with that.
I agree with that too. Cause then, you know, cause to Silk's point, you know, a lot of people have kind of, you know, have a different perversion of the word simp.
Yeah,
You know, to
for sure,
simp,
for
to
sure.
simp, and to serve your mate. That those aren't synonymous.
Mhm.
I don't believe. Especially if you greatly care for the person.
I mean, a pimp's gonna look at it all the same, but you
Right,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying. But like, as far as the, you know, exactly. But like, overall,
But they got different
yes,
motives
for
for
sure.
what they-
Right.
But even then, if they got the money, they are kind of paying for their clothing allowance and, you know, food. I mean, they gotta look presentable for the buyer out in the street.
You have to invest in your property.
And your
That's true.
That's the thing.
That is true. So I mean, that,
And I can choose to do with my property
Hey,
whatever I so desire. Whether that
talking about pips and
So you know what?
whether that be a backhand or a pair of red bottoms.
maybe it is.
Like,
synonymous.
which one you want? You want the backhand
or the red bottoms, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn. Maybe they are
it came down
synonymous.
that hard, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Get out there and make my money, bitch. Don't let them play with me.
I done paid all that money for them shoes, make it back.
Make it back, eh?
I want to see every bit of that 600 tonight.
That
Yeah,
yeah.
more than that. Goddamn, go with $1,200. I want the
Yeah.
$600 profit. You can keep the other $600.
True. Oh, see, now that ain't
Well,
pimping. Pimping ain't about to break off no 600.
They ain't breaking even.
You're supposed to break even.
Yeah.
And that's pushing it.
Man, you made a $600 profit off this hole, and you probably got like 12 more.
That must be your bottom bitch.
Yeah, gotta be.
Gotta be. Gotta be.
That's the top hoe. That's the one who makes the clients.
that's
clients and stuff.
In the pimp game,
Yes.
the bottom bitch is your top.
That's
She's
your top
the
hoe.
whole manager who's also
Yeah.
a hoe.
Yes. Yes.
Top notch hoes make the most, not the lesser.
We got the hoes in the strip club
Hey.
too. You feel me?
Rest in peace, Chad
Boy.
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 But even
Working.
but yeah, so like
Go ahead. Go ahead.
like I said, you know, a lot of people got the word simp wrong, you know.
I think so too, yeah.
Because like I said, to serve and to simp, I believe are two different things. You know, if you serve your mate, you know, for the greater good, to me that's not simping because you have a partner that believes in reciprocation and things like that.
In an ideal situation.
In an ideal situation.
I think it's simple to say that. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Go ahead. Keep going.
I said bar.
Oh, word, appreciate you. So, but you know, I guess in regards to what we believe simp is doing all the same shit essentially, but
Not
no
getting
returns,
the
no yield,
reciprocation,
no return on your investment.
Right.
You know, we call it
That's how I
that.
look at
In
it.
in the sense, I believe that's what we would call simping.
Now,
You know,
one more
in its
point
basic form.
to bring in before we close down is there's a lot more female pimps in this game now.
Yes.
It's like
Oh yeah, the game has changed.
it is getting
Like the male pimps have.
Yeah.
like it's and they almost getting overpowered by female pimps at this point because like the market has been flooded. OnlyFans not like it was already on the upswing, but OnlyFans done blew all these girls' heads up now. Like, oh, I'm used to getting paid for this type of action, so you're gonna have to run me some money if you expecting this. Like,
But I mean, oh well, go ahead. So
I was about to say, but if these women are sleeping with these dudes to get the money or the bag or the shoes and all this stuff, are they really considered pimps? Or would they be hoes?
that's a different stage though. I'm talking about the ones that are just charging for content, interactions, conversations, because that's as deep. Like it ain't just I'm giving.
She would be a video hoe at that point, right?
But technically, if she's in control of that situation, like if I understand what you're saying, whereas like if she's having sex or anything like that to get the money and whatnot, yeah, then she's still a hoe. You can't be pimping if you hoeing like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
You pimping yourself, which still in turn makes you a hoe in that situation. Like either way, you cut that.
You are.
He probably fucking shit out of Ariana. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, we not gonna be able to hold out. All right, let's get back to top.
All right.
shoot, 34, 35.
But like,
Delete that footage.
delete. But as far as like I said, there's a lot more female pimps in the game now. Whereas like 5-10 years ago, it was all females that were like, man, I'm getting dogged out. These dudes ain't nothing but this, that, the third, blah blah blah. And now it seems like it's completely turned where you got a whole lot of dudes out here like, man, hoes ain't shit, blah blah blah.
Females are waking up.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, exactly, and that's honestly like the thing that occurring speaks to the point to where like we needed to be better as men. You know what I'm saying? But like since as a society we seem to be kind of going extremely in a different direction, you now have a market that females find more friendly because like there's nobody really out here. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's individuals out there paying for it, but like there's not near as many females out there trying to pay OnlyFans fees for dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I can't really believe that there's a whole lot of dudes even before OnlyFans that like the girl was like, I'll pay for a dick pic. Like,
Shit, better take for free.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like they getting unsolicited stuff. So like why you need to ask to pay for it? Whereas on the other end of the table, it's a lot more dudes that's thirsting for these like, Instagram models and super alternative models and all that stuff, whatever you want to call it. And
Season finale gonna be like 2 hours.
It's gonna be off the rip. Like, but anyway, like they have a lot more power now. Like they've realized that there's like, hey, they all coming to us. You know what I'm saying? And being successful at it. Like there's literally like I don't watch so many Facebook videos of like people going around asking people what they do for a living, this, that, and the third. All these women driving these like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all that. Oh, I do OnlyFans. I sell bath water, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Like, and then like one of the dudes was like, so right. One of the dudes was like, so do you ever like actually like do anything with? Oh no, I never even see any of them. Like it was just like, so you paid for a Ferrari off the internet, like that's it. That's all you. And she didn't even. She looked like she might have got 100 likes on a picture, but like she wasn't even no like swimsuit model looking runway, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
words of Mac, pussy's pussy.
I mean, apparently they're thirsty folks. That is definitely a thing out there.
Yeah, but you got buyers. You know
what I'm
this
saying?
Is a
Like,
it's a buyer's market when it comes to the
content.
yeah.
Let's call it content.
Yeah.
But
Appreciate that.
Right.
This is ready to mature.
Absolutely. But we can go now back to more of the Pimpin' and Simpin' with the whole Kanye, Pete, Kim triangle thing going on, which like I will commend the going to therapy and rehab and everything that he's done. But Kanye in recent days has been doing a lot of simping over Kim Kardashian, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to be, you know, hit about it because like I totally get that. Like I'm not. A lot of people say Kim Kardashian is ugly as hell, but like I see a lot of y'all walking around with y'all wives and stuff. Like how is she ugly? And
Kanye look better than Kim though.
huh?
So what?
Kanye new girl look better than Kim.
Man, she look just like Kim.
That is,
And that's a problem.
That is similar.
Maybe
That's
we
a
ain't
problem.
talking about the
It's
same one.
it's-
The one I saw,
But she does have similarities to Kim, like he said. Like
I haven't seen. Y'all have shown me.
Look better than me.
But either way, you know what I'm saying. But like, so I get understanding losing something like that. But
It's big though, boy.
Yeah,
That thing big though, boy.
you know what I'm saying.
Might be the same size. Hers might be all natural though. Goddamn. Bro.
That is definitely a thing. But as far as the simping goes, like he needed to cool off with that. You know what I'm saying? And thankfully he did public, like, all right, I'm done harassing y'all, this, that, and the third. And actually, which is funny because the whole Kanye fan club behind him before that was like, oh no, he doing the right thing. He acted how he's supposed to. I, you know, big up in the man for acting how he was. And then he himself comes out and says, I apologize for doing that. Like, I'm done harassing y'all. Blah, blah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. And so, you know, he's been simping. And then on the other hand, Kim has been the pimp in the situation because, like, she done got on up through there with a whole nother dude. You know what I'm saying? She, and facts, barely even spoke on it publicly, you know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, you got him going back and forth all over. Skeet Davidson, you know, going back and forth on social media and everything. But, like, the whole time, Kim just, like, not saying nothing, like
he
seen that.
don't really say nothing either. He don't say nothing.
I mean, but that's a good thing.
Which
you know
is
what I'm saying? He's not at least feeding the negative energy. But
Wait, Kim dating Pete?
Pete Davidson, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
We literally been talking about
Damn,
this
boy,
for
I didn't know that
You
shit.
need to start breathing
No,
before we had these shows.
Nah, but Skeet literally said, "I'm in bed with your wife." Like that wasn't going.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he,
is
as
he
much
lying?
harassing as he was doing,
but
as much harassing as Kanye bought the house across the street, bro.
Yeah,
Come on now.
But to be with his kids, be closer with his kids.
To be with his
That's what
kids.
that's what he
Being
said.
with your kids
You-
can be
no,
10 minutes
bro.
away, bro. Like,
Right.
man, it's
Facts.
right across the
I could be up the road and still come get my kids now.
But
Like,
Skeet ain't had to do that though. Like that.
right,
messed with
I'll give
people's
you that.
brain,
Yeah,
like,
he did.
you know.
He did fuel that a little bit. I'll give you
like-
that because, like he, like you said, he did do that with Matt too. You know
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm
like an
saying?
ongoing pattern. Like y'all
Right.
not seeing
That's
how
another
this man is
conversation.
Right.
controlling these folks. It's just
My bad.
That's another conversation. I had something to say.
Oh, okay. But you know, I do. Like I said, I do feel like he's been simping, and hopefully will come back stronger and a more. Hey, bruh, stop being a producer and go back to rapping too, bruh. Like, liked your albums, instrumentals, but like,
Yeah, because I heard the
you
last
know,
album was just
the-
all basic
it was
producing, no
like
rapping.
he was legit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, he put verses in the album, but like they were not Kanye verses. They like literally, and this is not like I'm not gonna say this is a biased opinion because I actually do like Kanye's music.
Yeah.
Literally every feature he had on his album outshined him on that track. Like legitimately.
On your album.
You
No,
feel
you're-
me?
no, you're right.
Like legitimately.
You're right.
So
You're
like
right.
I understand, and again, the album was extremely well produced.
Yeah.
Probably one of his best produced albums. But like, if you put all that hype behind it, like I'm expecting to hear Kanye come out on that mic. Not you know, because like if you made the beat, you should know how to masterfully
Master
surf
the
that
flow.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but he, you know, like I said, he kind of got outshined a lot on that album with his features. And we talking about not even lyrical rappers were outshining him on that album. Like who was it? Lil
Baby.
Now I fuck with Lil Baby too. Don't get me wrong, but like he's not necessarily known for being a lyrical. You know, he's not in that genre, like necessarily that part of rap.
Yeah.
But he did out rap Kanye, like legitimately.
He did.
I don't know. It's bigger than Black and White.
I mean, that's
But that's
topical.
his song.
That's
Yeah,
topical.
That's his. That's
No,
his
wait,
big
I'm gonna talk with
song.
you off mic.
Right.
You trying to say that was lyrical?
I mean,
It's topical.
He's
Like he
spoken-
got
he's
lyrical.
spoken true.
I see where he's coming from. He got lyrical on that song for sure, but it was
was a good
topical.
subject,
It's,
too.
it's
Like I said,
easy.
it's topical.
It's easy to sit down and like this is the topic that I'm gonna write about to write a decent verse to
But
that.
Kanye
Now, as far as just like Kanye, like
Kanye
literally off the
raps.
top, right? So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I'm good.
maybe we need a graduation too.
Please.
I don't see that happening.
It probably won't.
We won't top the first one, but
Right,
Mama,
I would like just to get that sound back. Like that was.
I don't see that happening.
I don't
That
know.
ain't gonna happen.
We can,
But
we can hope.
other things have happened that we didn't think
Didn't
would
see
happen.
happening. You know,
I mean,
we didn't think Will Smith was gonna smack the shit out of Chris Rock.
Damn Joe did.
Damn, you know,
Damn, so big. You talking about went back?
wham, pow.
you got
And Tupac energy was all behind him. This for everything that.
Bruh, dude,
You
the
got
clip
me.
art for
You
the
got
F, bro. Pac is Goku behind
Yeah.
Yo,
Dude.
yes.
No, if you watch JoJo's Bizarre, you know their superpowers, but they have the
Yeah,
shadow thing.
yeah.
They had that with him
But
too.
yo, but they effed it up at one time, so they had it to where like Chris Rock was walking to Will, but then somebody finally changed it with Will walking to him. Because I'm like, Chris went on that.
When he
energy,
went
bro.
about to
Y'all
walk
make
over.
it clear.
Right, right.
Nah, man.
But any other closing statements to go on the topic, or
Yeah. I guess with a question, man.
Oh,
okay?
Another 30 minutes. Let's go.
Damn, man. Really?
No, I know it's going.
It'll be a conversation,
Go
probably.
ahead.
How much pimping do y'all think is too much pimping?
God.
Like, cause so for example, reason why I asked that because, you know, a lot of people are saying that, you know, what Will did was pretty much all just the emotional backlash he's been, you know, carrying, you know, pretty much carrying the cross of pretty much carrying the brunt of everything that's been talked about between him and Jada.
Right.
And
Because she initiated.
because that's one, but and also two, he still made the decision to go up there and do what he did. You know, he could have easily just not did it. But what I saw was him trying to prove a point that he isn't as soft as people make him out to be, even though he still went out to a guy that's, you know, just off of basic statistics, Will is like what 6'2", 200-something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock
He
maybe
went up
like
to a smaller
5'10",
individual, right?
something like
I
that.
think it still made him look soft. It didn't necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when is, you know, in that, because, you know, we would, according to the, you know, the many women on social media, that's masculine.
Mm-hmm.
When is too much masculine in that regard to where it offsets
In my
the
opinion,
passivity?
I feel like is when your energy or your actions is like frequently abusing somebody else's, I don't know, esteem, or, you know, you're continuously taking advantage of somebody based off of, you know, your actions. I feel like that's too much.
Okay.
Because like that's what I was saying, like there's levels of the things, and then to be, you know, I feel like ideal, you have to kind of be on both sides of the spectrum. Because like you could be pimp, like, you know, you can carry yourself like a pimp, you dress nice,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, pimps are usually pretty respectful, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not, you know, out here just slapping the hell out of folks. I mean, I guess when you get down to the gutter motherfuckers, like they start slapping folks, but like more or less they carry themselves in a good way. But like I feel like I said, when you go too far is when like you legitimately are taking advantage of and abusing your power and your position and what you're doing. That's when I feel like it's too much.
Okay, I got you. Because you know, I would like to think. My bad. I ain't,
No, go ahead.
Okay, because I would like to think, you know, just in that situation, you know, I would, you know, there's only like a handful of people that I believe that I look up to, you know, that are non-celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just as far as you know, the husband wife dynamic thing, right? So you know, I know for a fact that my dad would not do what Will did, and my mom would still have high respect for the man because, you know, if you,
No, I was throwing.
okay,
I
gotcha.
don't think that would either.
Oh, okay, because I would like to think of it like this. You know, I believe women have a superpower, right? And it's called discernment. I believe that if Jada was the wife that she's supposed to be, she would not have let Will carry out that mission, you know, off of something that was a lighthearted joke, in my opinion. Because, like I said, I'm looking at it as it's just a G.I. Jane joke.
Which is what most people.
Looked at. You know what I'm saying? If Jada was looking out for Will's best interest, because I mean, if we gonna be real, he is the breadwinner of the family. You know, we talked about this man's net worth.
For sure.
It's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jada ain't pulling them numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would think
Hell, at this point, honestly, her kids probably got a better network.
probably.
than she does.
Probably. They do their own thing. Yeah.
So I would think for the best interest of the money, you know, that not necessarily just money, but just for the best interest of
Status, really.
status
Yeah.
and being able to still have opportunities for, you know, more streams of income, she wouldn't have let that happen.
Right. I mean, to me, I feel like that was Will doing that was an example of when Pimpin went too far.
Yeah.
Like he abused with like a lot of different perspectives in that situation. Where like I feel like it's very few other people other than Will Smith that could have gone up there, done that, got back in his seat, and not been like escorted out of the building.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like you said, he walked up to a smaller person, very non-imposing, like, and as far like legitimately, Chris Rock, I don't recall him ever being aggressive in any sort of situation. So like I feel like he abused that, but he was also being pimped in that situation because Jada definitely was the fuel for that. Like, and just like you said, your dad and pretty much of the large majority of other people would not have done the same thing he did in that situation. Yeah. Like, if anything, like if Jada was being the wife she is supposed to be, she should have said, say something, or you know, handle that when time is necessary, not necessarily go do something right now, like walk on that stage, slap the shit out of that man. Which is like, to me, I feel like just is such a show of how much power she has over him. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that a look is all it took for him to do that. And
it's ridiculous.
Now I'm not gonna.
For that one moment though, he ain't never did just.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, yeah, that's true. But like at the same time, like if he hadn't looked over there and seen her have that look on his face, he wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Like, and because he was laughing at the joke before he looked over there, and so like. And she's gone too far in her pimp, like legitimate, like been way too far in her pimp, considering the whole lots of things that have happened to their situation have been behind her doing. You know what I'm saying? Because she wanted something done a certain way. She wanted the situation to go a certain way. Good.
And I'm sorry.
No, I thought he was about to say something.
Oh, okay, got you. And evidently, Will's not allowed to talk about it until they have
get the red table talk. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Part 2? I was like, damn,
like,
part 2?
Pimp,
they
bro.
about to have a
pimp. You bet not say shit until
nothing,
you at my
right.
table. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, but just speaking on what y'all saying, she need the views.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
She know motherfuckers gonna be tuned in to hear what he gotta say about it. You know, and I'm gonna be there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be there.
Because honestly, I want, man, I pray for Will, man. I really do. Yeah.
Facts.
Because you know, and I want people to know out there, we're not saying, you know, especially for the, you know, the women viewers and listeners, we're not saying that your husband should not defend your honor. Yeah. That's the highest thing that a husband can do, you know, for you. You know what I'm saying? I wholeheartedly believe that there are other means of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I speak on my dad, you know, he's not gonna do what he did. He may set somebody to the side and talk to them, and if it honestly goes further to, you know, fisticuffs, which I don't imagine it going, then it is what it is. But just right then and there, just acting out of emotion, that's not what he does. You know what I'm saying? And I only speak of my dad because, you know, I've known him the longest. You know, so I see how he is. Yeah, my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like I would see him. You know, he's very calculated.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean he's soft, because, you know,
not at all.
You know, he's also a military man. You know, he done seen some shit, but he's very calculated, which I think all of us need to be when we're faced with situations like this, because we understand, you know, at the height of the moment, you know, anything could happen.
Right.
But that's where we mess up at. You know, we're just reacting off of what's going on right now. We're not really. We're not really making chess moves as to avoiding situations like this. And, you know, and then when I see that type of stuff on the timeline, you know, with a lot of women saying, yeah, I need my husband to do that. You're not gonna have a husband for very long if he's out here just smacking dudes left and right. You know, either he's gonna go to jail or one of them's gonna up it up. You know, it's like gonna up that blick, and, you know, that's a wrap.
Stand with the blick.
Yeah, and if you got kids, then you'll just be another statistic.
Facts.
And y'all don't want that. I don't think y'all really want that. We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my take.
This just brings it back to what Ant said earlier. The whole relationship is just toxic. You know, Jada's the puppet master, Will's a puppet. You know.
True.
You know,
that is a toxic.
it is what it is, and I hate to see it, but it's like Will has so much money. Like you said, he's the breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
But Jada is in this position where she makes him feel like he's like less. You know.
Yeah.
And
because
to me, it's fucked up, because you the breadwinner. You know, you take care of the family. How you gonna stoop down to this level because you feel like your love for this person is
love.
Because
That's why he's doing that.
Nah, that's all.
So this is what I gotta say about that part of it with him being a breadwinner or whatever have you. Like, at the end of the day, if you ever notice throughout the years, Will makes it a point to make her shine, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, I got all these accolades, I can be this best actor, blah, 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 but I'm gonna make sure that you shine brighter than me when we out.
Which is fine.
Whatever,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you know, but for that alone, I just feel like in that space at that time when the situation occurred, he was like, oh, I got to do my duties of what I've been doing to make you shine, instead of people just, you know, slandering your name or whatever have you or whatnot. Because at the end of the day, we all know it could have went down differently. It definitely could have went down differently.
Yeah.
But he had a human emotion, and what I get tired of people doing is putting these celebrities up on a pedestal. And I say that because as of recently, it's been so easy to get into these celebrities' lives and stuff like that, to the point like, hey, hell, Shaq 15 minutes down the street from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, it's literally
no flex.
Like, the shit is getting too close, and people feel more invested in these celebrities' lives than their own lives. And when I say their own lives, I mean the people's lives. So at the end of the day, I feel like we have to stop putting these celebrities up on a pedestal, because people are going to have human emotions. What their name is on the screen and all that, that's a character.
Right.
That's a character.
Right.
His name might be Will Smith, but he might be Willard Smith.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
a persona that he puts out there, and people expect for you to be like how you was 30 years ago. This is a different person. This is a person that's grown through the years. A person ain't the same person as you remember on these reruns that you see every day. And you need to stop with that mentality. Like, even with Cosby, like, people's like, oh man, Cosby couldn't have did that. How you know?
How you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
How you know?
hell, Cosby technically told y'all he was doing it the whole time. Like, making pudding pops, barbecue chicken. Like, he was putting the Huggy Buggy sauce all up in your face on them episodes. Now,
Y'all remember that episode? that one episode.
I'm telling you, like, he put it in the face. Like, he's letting you know. So you can't sit there and be like, no, I don't think he did that. Come on, he was talking about something. Like,
But you know, I feel like had it been anybody else, like, let me just think of an actor that maybe comes to mind. If 50 Cent was to go up and slap somebody, nobody would have said nothing.
Hell no.
They would have been like, "That's 50."
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it would have been the drums, but that's 50. Like you know, like.
Right.
But because it was Will Smith, because he's put up on a high pedestal like he is, he was like, "Oh nah, he couldn't do that. He had such a good audience, a good balance of black and white. There's no way he could have done that." But he did it.
We've seen it.
And
He
here
did
it
it.
is. Right. Here we are.
He legit had a nigga moment, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Man, Will is from Philadelphia.
Right.
Born and raised.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. He clearly even said it himself. Like,
Yeah.
you can't take people from Philly or Baltimore nowhere, which, like,
That's it.
But I be hating that. I kind of be hating that sometimes though
that
because
stigma, like,
yeah, just because I'm from where I'm from,
don't mean
I
that
can do
you gotta-
shit like that.
Right.
Nah, cause somebody from bumfuck Kentucky could
Right.
probably do the same shit too.
Mhm.
I be
Man,
hating
but-
that sometimes.
I mean, but that's the thing though. So like even at my job, like I stress on trying to be cooperative. I stress on trying to communicate with people and things of that nature, so I don't look like an angry black man.
yeah.
That's the problem. We're so stressed about whether or not how we look in the eye of whatever audience we looking for. Because like even me and my wife was having this conversation about the Oscars and all that or whatever. We look at it as like, oh, this is white money. We need to act accordingly. Like, when is it that we get to the point to where we have the money that we have for us and us alone versus we gotta impress these people. We gotta do right by these people because like literally when everything went down, the first thing they was talking about like, oh, this is the first time Will Packer got to produce the Oscars. First time he had black this, black that.
Mhm.
But because it happened on that stage, because it happened in that audience, it was like, oh damn, now how we look.
Black folks took L's.
You know what I mean? Like black folks took over the Oscars, and now you see what happened. Now everybody's like, oh, let's take this on back. Y'all take this shit over to the BET Awards. We don't want that over here.
Which
you know what I
is
mean?
still ran by white folk too.
But that,
Yeah.
I mean, in their perspective, that's the deserving,
Right.
you know,
That's the
venue
top
for something
tier.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, they still had the green light. Will Packer to do it too. I mean,
that
I mean,
takes some
they did,
time.
you know, but that was this was a juicy topic.
yeah,
For sure.
It was a little,
I didn't
yeah.
think we were gonna go this far, but definitely,
Yeah, it was,
definitely was juicy.
it was spicy. I liked it. I liked it, man.
Any closing remarks?
Next time Chris Rock beat his ass.
But it's
we
okay.
got to send you the alternate universe where
Where he actually did.
where they put some respect on Chris Rock.
But it's okay. He got 9 other brothers that can surely make that up for if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Man, I think he was capping.
I don't think it was
Chris-
that. This Tony.
Tony. I'm talking about Tony. I think he was capping.
No, I don't think it was
I
that.
mean, it's just like
There are a lot of
We're gonna
rocks.
talk off the.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I said there are a lot of rocks. They definitely do have numbers on their side.
Yeah.
He's not wrong in saying they don't all have everything to lose like Will and them does. So he's not necessarily wrong when he's saying that. Like,
At all.
And clearly he has the personality like, hey, come see me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
it's possible. You know, he could be telling the truth.
Yeah. So, I guess as far as the closing remark, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Man, it's always better to have a sound mind. You know, think logically of all things. See everything from the big picture instead of just in that one moment, because that's where we could really get lost. And you know, kind of like what Denzel was saying to Will. You know, at your highest peak, you know, that's when this devil,
Right.
you know, comes at you.
Yeah.
You know, Will was at the heightened emotion that he was. You know, he blacked out essentially, and you know, everything went down. And that's
Schmack.
not a smack. And that's not what a sound mind should look like. You know
Right.
that you know.
Facts.
So I would just encourage people to, you know, instead of just going off the hip, realize what's in front of you, analyze it, and you know, just go about it a different way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, in my opinion. And I don't promote the way that we all saw in the Oscars. So yeah, if you could be as non-violent as possible, I think that's more masculine, if anything, because you have resolve, you have resiliency, and you're a good problem solver.
To me, it's more self-respect.
Yes.
I mean, that's why
Absolutely.
a lot of people gave Rock so much
Self-respect.
respect.
Right.
Like he could have.
Right. He could
Absolutely. He had every
that's
right
why I
to
said I
do that.
respected him for it.
Oh, yeah.
he handled it like
Yeah.
the best way I feel like, especially in that setting that he could have.
Oh yeah, he had every right to retaliate, you know, as he see fit, but he didn't. He kept it classy. I believe he came out on top of that. But like I said, that's what having a resilient mind and a still mind looks like, you know, in my opinion. And I encourage, you know, all men, you know, specifically to practice that. You know, whether it be meditation, exercising, reading, things like that. You know, step away from social media every now and then because it's not a real place.
At all.
So,
Because at the end of the day, if you entertain the fool, who is the fool?
facts. Woo! Okay, I see you. I see you.
Well spoken, sir. Well spoken.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I ain't gotta say nothing. I ain't gotta say nothing else. He said it. Shoot.
Anything from you, Ant?
I'm good.
So,
Oh, no, I'll say what I said.
I said what I said.
all I can say is, man, it's good to have you back. Glad you was able to come in on this episode.
Yeah.
Yes,
Love you.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for sure, for sure.
You miss. Oh yeah. There you go, Livy. She was clapping it up for you too.
So, anything from you, man? So
You.
You don't.
Oh, I think that's Oh, I mean, I said what I had to say. I dropped the mic. You know?
Yeah. Nah. You said, yeah. Yeah. Nah. That was a mic drop.
We drop quotes around here. We don't drop around notes. We drop quotes.
Quotes. Yes, sir. Indeed.
All right. So, with that being said, this is, of course, always been a good episode. This has been Pimpin No Simpin Part 2.
Yeah.
And as always, man, like I implore people to think about what they're gonna do before they do it, because trust me, we all got feelings, we all got emotions. There's been a time or two where, you know, hell, I've been, you know, want to just go up and smack somebody, but you know, life, bills, and shit
Can't
make
always-
you
Yeah.
think otherwise.
Yeah. Responsibilities.
We're not supposed to
Responsibilities. But as always, this has been another good episode of the Corner Podcast. And as always, this is your boy K1, and this is
Mac.
Anthony.
So,
Tigger.
and this has been another episode of the Corner. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Love you, 6. Shalom.
Yeah. All right, man.
shalom.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what? Oh.
Yeah. That was a good episode.